Good morning, friends, and welcome back to your daily aspects. The date today is September 7, 2021. The sun is in Virgo, and the moon has been in Virgo for a couple days. Today it will ingress to Libra. Also, today is the second day of the new moon. So this is the time where the moon is dark. It's time to go within and reflect on what we're trying to do in the world and set our intentions so that we can more properly find expression. Let's get into our aspects. These are all given in Central Standard Time at 8:34 a.m. The moon goes in opposition to Neptune. At 12:56 in the afternoon, the moon makes a trine with Pluto. At 2:23 p.m., a void of course moon, and we'll talk about that, goes conjunct with Mars. At 10:20 p.m., the moon makes an ingress into Libra. And at 11:30 p.m., Mercury goes in opposition to Chiron. Okay, let's have a little legend here. The sun represents your outer self, your ego, or who you are in the world. The moon represents your inner self, your capacity to feel and relate. Neptune is our planet for epiphanies and spiritual awakenings. Pluto is our planet for rebirth. They often say death and rebirth. I say endings and beginnings. This is also a planet of extremes since it's sort of way out there on the extreme end of our solar system. Mars is your planet for initiative, ambition, your will to act in the world. Chiron is not a planet, but an asteroid, and it's related to how you can heal yourself and others. And Mercury, of course, is our messenger planet, so this is our thoughts and communication, and also somewhat about our travels. We have a couple of signs here. Virgo sun has had us feeling kind of sharp in mind and diligent in our practice and our efforts, or detail oriented to get things done. And especially with the moon in Virgo the last couple of days, you may have been feeling this doubly hard. I hope you didn't push yourself too hard. I hope you took breaks. I hope you took care of yourself. Today the moon will move into air sign Libra. Virgo is an earth sign. Air sign Libra, which is more the lover of balance and beauty, justice seeking. All right, let's talk about these aspects. This is an opposition. And this one's an opposition too. I encourage when you see opposition to think of the keyword balance. And this is, this can be like you will find balance, but it's also sort of look for balance, seek to maintain balance. This aspect is a trine, which is harmonious. These two planets are working together harmoniously in that aspect. This aspect is conjunct. These energies are linked, and they're sort of mutually enhancing or mutual boosters. And this is an ingress. This is when the moon goes from one sign into another, which happens every 2.5 days or so. So now we come to the part where I give you my read on exactly what these symbols are telling us about how our day might look. The moon in opposition to Neptune reads to me like a spiritual restlessness, almost like maybe an ennui or just a feeling of restlessness that can also be maybe identified as emotional sensitivity. So it's a good time to really be kind to yourself, listen to yourself, and be kind to others. And, if we're not feeling as though, if we're feeling too restless or agitated, maybe if we're not feeling as though we can be good company to anybody else, we should spend some time alone for a couple of hours. This is a 2-hour-ish transit. So understand that you may be feeling a little restless. You may be feeling a little extra sensitive. Understand that it's temporary, and you don't have to make any major decisions about your life during a time when you're feeling restless and agitated. And also, let me know how that works out for you, because we all have different experiences. We all witness these occurrences in different ways in our lives. The second one that I have here is the moon trine Pluto. And this is like sort of, this is a really emotional place too. It's like I see and I feel everything. Your intuition, if you have psychic abilities, they're going to be on high. This is a good time to maybe flex that intuitive or psychic muscle a little bit. Do a little training, see what you can see with it. This may give you insight on how best you can heal or help others heal from a situation. So trust yourself if you feel like going deep here, because you may have a harmonious outcome. Okay, moon conjunct Mars. Void of course moon conjunct Mars. So I just want to take a moment to talk about void of course. So you see that the moon moves into the next sign every 2 or so days. Void of course tells us this is the last aspect the moon is going to make in the sign of Virgo. And what it's saying to us is this moon, it's on its way out. It doesn't necessarily feel as heavily influenced by Virgo as it did. And it's not quite yet feeling very influenced by Libra. So your inner life, your inner self, you might be feeling a little free, a little unencumbered, a little less influenced in general. During this hour or so, the moon conjunct Mars is like, I feel strong and ready. So if you're careful, because these are mutually boosting energies, right? So your psyche, your inner life you know, will be boosting your sense of initiative. And you have to be careful when Mars is in play not to become impatient or lose your temper. And if you can do that, if you can, you know, just maintain your cool, this can be a really bold and sexy vibe that you've got for a couple of hours here in the afternoon. So, you know, it's a good time to shine and to be, you know, your beautiful individual self, to do something playful and fun. The next one I have is Moon entering Libra. And, you know, to me, this says sort of I relate and respond to balance, truth, and beauty. So coming out of Virgo, the Moon in Libra calls us to ease up on all of that hard, detail-oriented work, to relax, to restore ourselves, take in a beautiful scene, talk to that one friend who can really hear what you're saying, that you can really be open to with, and then be open to learning something new about yourself. It's a good time to write and create over the next couple days. Collaborate with, you know, with someone that you trust and are close to. Tend your garden, clean up your house. We like things to look elegant and peaceful when the moon is in Libra. And then at about 11:30 p.m., we have this Mercury aspect with Chiron. So I would just want to point out all these moon transits. That's the moon moves around really quickly, so that's why we get a lot of moon transits. I mean, a lot of moon aspects, because it's just it's a quick mover and it kind of touches on everything a lot. And most of those transits cost 2 hours. They take about 2 hours. And this is the moon moving around. I want to remind you, in, you know, whatever your natal Neptune, Pluto, Mars is, okay? So you can take this back to your own chart and you can say, do I have, what house is Neptune in for me? And that will help give you a little further insight into what an opposition to Neptune means exactly for you. The transit of Mercury here takes a day. It's about a 24-hour cycle, much like the sun. They're very close together and they move, from our perspective, at similar speed. The Mercury in opposition to Chiron basically says that my past experiences allow me to have gained insight that is worth sharing. And, you know, sometimes those insights we have or want to share are going to go unheard. And it's important not to become discouraged, but to be kind about that and look for ways to communicate what your wounds and what your healing have taught you anyway. It's worth expressing at this time. It's likely to be like a mixed reception on it, but the communication is not only for the healing of others, just for the healing of yourself. So there you go. That's your daily aspects for today. I'm only going to leave this up for about half a minute. I encourage you to pause if you want to peruse and consider this information for your own purposes. Compare it to your chart, compare it to your experience. I encourage you to leave comments and ask questions. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel if you find this content interesting. Thank you for joining me today. See you tomorrow.